All right, guys, we are back again with another South African knife that blows me away. Yes, I am in the new studio, and no, I didn't change the background. I still plan to change this mat because one, this mat is old and getting dated. And two, I want a kind of new look, a new house, new look. So let me know your thoughts. If you have a particular color, I'm thinking of a gray. I don't know. I'm going to get a couple things and try it and see what looks good and what doesn't. But I am getting settled, and my buddy Chris, Thai Addiction, he has an Instagram and a YouTube channel. He sent me this. He actually bought this, traded this. I don't know. He acquired this from someone else, and he asked the someone else to send it to me, and that way I could share it with you, and then I can send it off to him in Idaho. This thing is, quite frankly, badass. It's Anton knives from South Africa. This is the Boudicca Angel's Finger in all black. The Angel's Finger, I believe, is the black version, and you can get it with 1, 2, or 3 inlays. Either the 1, 1 and 2, or 1, 2, 3. This is not brand new. The other person owned it for a little bit, whatever. But this thing is fantastic. I love the fact that it is kind of a wrinkled finish here with this ceramic coating on the blade. I believe it's a Cerakote that is done on the blade and the scales. Titanium scales, RWL34 blade steel. Ceramic coating, ceramic IKBS bearings, black Damascus, everything else. Pocket clip, pivot collars, and the inlays, as well as the back spacer. The other thing that you will notice is there's only one screw and the pivot. No body screws, all hidden hardware. Heavily milled out. I don't even think I have a flashlight here within reach to show you that. Yes, there's one over here at the other desk. See, I'm still getting set up. You'll also see some dust in there maybe, but that's okay. Again, I'm the average guy YouTuber that happens to have a camera. So you get my faux pas. I don't edit out all of the stuff. You're really just getting the average Joe here talking about knives. South African knives, you get an incredible deal. Handmade custom knife. I think this was around $1,000 brand new year or two ago. Might be a little bit more now, but come on. Titanium frame lock, black Damascus, RWL34 for $1,000. You can't touch that here in America generally. You just can't. The South African makers got it going on, and I love all of them. I've done several South African knives over the course of my channel, and I will put a link down below if I remember, and up in the corner to my South African playlist. Another piece that I love about this knife is kind of the rock texturing on the flipper tab. It's unusual. You don't usually see that. And just how flat and smooth all of these inlays are. Even the pivot collar is, and the pivot itself, absolutely flat on this side. Yes, there's a little bit of a bump here on the pivot bolt, if you will. But that's it. Other than that, completely smooth. You can barely feel the seam other than the difference in material. The quality that comes out of South Africa is absolutely astonishing, and I'm amazed every time I pick one up. All right, so some specs on this. It's 4 5/8 closed, just a hair over 8 inches. It is a little lock bar pressure sensitive. Meaning if you grip it in a way and you put pressure on that lock bar, it is not going to open. You basically pick it up, and I have not had a problem. But every so often when you place your fingers in a certain way, you might have that issue. It's not necessarily made to be a Spidey flicker, reverse flicker, and I suck at that opening, and I think it's kind of stupid. So that's why you didn't get that fire that you were hoping to see. The blade is 3.55 inches. I'm not going to go into behind the edge and all that stuff because this is semi-custom. Does anybody really care about that kind of junk anyway? I don't think so. Let me know in the comments. Weighs in at 4.5 ounces, just a hair under your D-cell battery. Overall thickness is 0.464. So this thing is really slim. It does work absolutely excellent in the pocket. When I did a YouTube short, I think, on this one, or maybe it was the unboxing. Somebody says, hey, I wish the pocket clip would have curved the other way to kind of match with the curve of the blade and whatnot. Like, and it would have the curve of the inlays. But yeah, it looks a little odd to me, but it does match the curve of the blade in that regard. I agree. I would have probably had a little more neutral, maybe curved down, but a lot of South Africans do it that way, and it actually works really well. It feels super comfortable in the hand, works great in and out of the pocket. This thing is just fantastic. So I do have a couple of things for size comparisons here. I was able to unbox another box. Here's with the Sharpie, the Boudicca, the Kubi KB237, and just because we can, how about a standard Hellraiser P series, the production version, the VC Edge interface. It's a pretty good comparison here. The VC Edge is slightly longer, but again, another custom from a US maker. And I'm not going to say that, like, these are two totally different knives. I'm trying to think what I have that's more comparable here on the table. I don't really have something more comparable to the Anton knives. But this one was over $3,000, where this one is $1,000. So, you know, I'm not going to say you get what you pay for, but it's totally, that's not a good comparison. I don't even know why I brought that up. Should edit that out if I was actually knew what I was doing, but I don't, so it's okay. But there you go. And I did have the coin out here. I totally spaced. I don't know why that was off screen the whole time. But this thing is totally badass. Chris, you are lucky to have picked this up. I think it's cool. Knowing Chris, it's going to be a safe queen. And I think this is something, because of the Cerakote, it's going to hold up well. I'm not going to say it's never going to scratch, but Cerakote ceramic coatings do hold up. I would not be afraid to carry this knife. That said, I carry this a lot. I carry this a lot, which is double the price of this Boudicca. So, yeah, I carry it. Whatever. If it gets scratched, it gets scratched. Today I was wearing a Rolex Air King. It's all scratched up. Again, I bought it to wear it. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. I think it's fantastic. I have been impressed, and like most every knife that I have handled out of South Africa, there are some that I just don't necessarily care for the style, but the quality on every South African knife I have ever handled has been through the roof. So if you have not checked out or you have not looked at South African makers, you really are doing yourself a disservice. And I highly encourage you to check out my South African playlist up here in the corner so you can at least experience them that way. And if there is something that hits home for you, maybe reach out to the maker and see if you can pick one up, because you will not be disappointed on price or quality for anything that comes out of South Africa. Thanks for watching, guys.